Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dr. Garais, and this is BIO112 Anatomy and Physiology 1 Evening Crew for LPN program. Now, this is the things that we did in our first lab, Unit 1, which is our first week. These are the items that you should need to know for your eventual Anatomage checkoff during week 3. So this right here, this little rocker switch here, that is the switch that turns it on. And the Anatomage table is here. This is the icon that you double click on it or double tap on this to open up the Anatomage table. Once the Anatomage table is open up, you will have these menus. The 4 menus that you need to know are cadavers, functional anatomy, histology, and prosection. Those are the only 4 menus. Cadavers is where you will find the bodies, like Vicky here. Functional anatomy, that has all the simulations and animations. Things like birth simulation, pregnancy, cardiology, kinesiology, neural pathways. These are some examples. Histology is where you will find anything microscopic, so any cytology and any of also tissues. So that's histology. And the last one is prosection. Prosection is where you will find all the 3D photographs of actual organs. Now, of course, Vicky is real, but she is dissected and scanned. That's why she has a more of a simulated appearance. But these, on prosection, these are all actual 3D photographs. You can dissect Vicky, but you cannot dissect these. Okay? Now, what are the things you need to know about operations on our cadaver here? You have a choice of one finger. One finger, when turning Vicky on the left and right, we can move her on her axis this way. And I can go up and down. I can move her on this axis this way. I can now also use 2 fingers to move her in this particular plane, left, right, up, and down. I can also use 2 fingers to make her smaller, or use the 2 fingers opposite of pinching. I could expand, and then we could magnify. The next set of instructions you'll need to know is this button right here on the left side, and this is your orientation button. The only 3 buttons we will discuss for this particular class are these 3. Please do not touch any other buttons regarding orientation other than this 3. Upon your checkoff, please do not guess. Be definitive in your answers and what you touch. So right now, she's all akimbo, not in the proper position. So I could ask you, can you please, using the orientation button, can you put her in an anterior view? So this is the anterior view. I could ask also, put her in posterior view, utilizing the orientation button. I click on that, click it again, and now we are on posterior view. We could also have right lateral. Notice that it is Vicky's arm that is up top facing us. That is her right arm. Therefore, she is in what view? Right lateral view. If I want another lateral view, I click on the second button. Now, her left arm is facing up, and therefore, this is the left lateral view. The third button is this one. You will now see we are viewing the top of her head. That is called the cephalad view, C-E-P-H-A-L-A-D. Cephalic means pertaining to the head. So this is the view going from the top of the head. And the exact opposite, orientation button, third button, hit it again. then now you will see her in the caudal view or caudad view. C-A-U-D-A-D means towards the tail. So this is the caudad view or caudal view, which is, from the feet up. Okay, let's get her back to normal. And this is always our starting position or ending position. And so at the end of the checkoff, this is where we should end up. Okay. Now, what other buttons do we need to know for this week? Well, we also went over this button right here, the visibility tool, where we can isolate different, systems. So make sure you know that there's a slider here because you might miss the skeletal system up top here. Now, in order to get rid of all the systems, you click on this circle button with a check on the bottom, and then you'll see now all the systems are now checked off, and then now you don't see any Vicky. But if I click on muscular, only the muscles will appear. I can unclick muscular, and then let's look at urinary, and then, let me move this out of the way, then you'll see her urinary system. Okay, so I could ask you to isolate any of these. And then, the last thing I'm going to ask you to isolate, if it'll let me, is skeletal. Okay, this is the skeletal system, and then make sure to close out. And then I'll ask you pick a bone, any bone, and let's pick the humerus here because this is a nice, recognizable, easy one. For right now, you don't need to know the bones yet. We will discuss that when we go over skeletal, but eventually you'll need to be tested on those. But for this unit 1, you should be able just to color things. So that is the humerus. And then once you select the humerus, right here is the color button. You click on that. You click on, see this white button here? The top right-hand corner where there's a little triangle. I try like aiming a little above it, and then the color palette comes out, and then you just randomly pick whatever color that I stated, and then it'll color it. Now, how do you decolor it? Well, I click on the thing that I want, and then I go back, and then I hit it again, and then now the color goes away. So know how to color it and how to decolorize skeleton or any other part that we ask you. And that is the visibility tool. Now, finally, get her back to normal. I go back to the visibility tool. I go back to this button right here to bring everything all back. Okay, and if she's a little bit off kilter, I now go to my orientation button right here and then put her back to the anterior view. Okay. Those are all the items that we went over Unit 1. And the Anatomage table can be made available to you upon request and also upon availability. All right, see you in class.